So what's happening, people? It's me again, Courtney. Back doing my MMA predictions. I didn't do a predictions video for the UFC 122 Marquardt versus Okami or the WEC because I didn't have the time. Sorry, but I'm back for this one. UFC 123 Rampage versus Machida, which will take place on Saturday, the 20th of November, 2010, at the Palace Auburn Hill. The Palace of Auburn Hills. Sounds very nice. In Michigan, in the USA. Main event: Quinton Rampage Jackson versus Lyoto the Dragon Machida. Both of these guys, former light heavyweight champions. I'll start with Rampage first. Rampage, 6'1". He's got a 30-8 record. Rampage, very strong guy. Powerful slams, good hands. Has good defense as well to the hands. He does the what's it called, the crazy monkey. I'm not sure if it's, well, I've heard of it called the crazy monkey. You know, the one where he's got good defense to punches. Good slams. His wrestling's okay. I wouldn't say it's the best. But Rampage is one tough cookie, man. He's very, very hard to finish. The last person to finish him was Wanderlei Silva, and that was back in Pride, which was about 2004. But otherwise, no, Rampage is very, very hard to finish. Obviously, he hasn't fought regularly enough, so his cardio is a bit of an issue. His last fight against Rashad Evans, which he lost, the cardio seemed to be a bit of an issue. He didn't really pull the trigger on Rashad he just seemed too relaxed and didn't want to get mixed up with Rashad. But then again, Rashad didn't want to mix up with him because he knew he'd get hit. But yeah, as I said, his last fight was a loss against Rashad Evans via decision. In his last 5 fights, he's had 3 wins and 2 losses. Then you've got the Dragon Machida. Lyoto Machida's got a 16-1 record. He's 6'1". He's a former light heavyweight champion as well. Machida, a very elusive fighter. He's a karate stylist. He uses karate very well in the ring, in the cage. He's got an unorthodox technique, so his kicks and punches that come from the usual places that everyone expects them to come from. So his kicks are not, they're not coming round at a Muay Thai level, cutting across. They're coming up in your face and around at your head and stuff like that, because he does the style of karate he does. He does have jiu-jitsu as well. He's got the ground game. Obviously, his wrestling's not too good, but he can bully people down, as you've seen against who did he take down? Tito Ortiz. He took down Shogun as well, but he more like bullies them down instead of doing a wrestling takedown sort of thing. But yeah, he's very elusive. You can't hit him. He always fights on the outside. Very rarely comes in to mix it up. It's like he'll come in, he'll jump in with his punches and come out and jump in and come out, but he's very accurate with his punches and kicks. His last fight was the loss to Shogun, which he lost his belt. He got TKO'd. In his last 5 fights, he had 4 wins and 1 loss. For this fight, I'm going to say Machida got battered in his last fight. I like Machida, but I like Rampage better. I've always liked Rampage. If Rampage is trained well, and if he comes with more than his one-dimensional game, which is just stand-up, he hasn't really got that much going. Everyone's improving and going on. I mean, even Wanderlei Silva's got a jab now. Wanderlei Silva never had a jab. Rampage needs to step up his game if he wants to beat Machida. But he's going to have to chase him down, because Machida's going to stay on the outside. Rampage is going to look for that big left hook. And I'll tell you, if he catches Machida, he'll knock him out straight away. I don't think Machida's going to be able to finish Rampage. If he does, I'll be surprised. But I'm picking Rampage to win that fight via TKO. If not, TKO will be via decision. Next fight on the card, BJ Penn versus Matt Hughes. BJ Penn, a former lightweight champ, a former welterweight champion. He's got 15-7-1 record. He's 5'9". As I said in my previous videos, all the other videos when I talked about BJ Penn, everyone knows about this guy. He's got all the skill in the world. His jiu-jitsu's sick, his boxing's sick. He even showed a few kicks against Diego Sanchez that are quite good as well. But yeah, he's gifted, but you need to train on those gifts. So you can't just expect to win fights by the gifts, as I've said before, many other people have said before. His last fight was against Frankie Edgar, and he lost by decision. Frankie Edgar controlled him throughout the whole fight. BJ really never, he looked different. When he fought Kenny Florian, he looked different to when he fought Frankie Edgar. So I'm not sure if he's still training with the Marinovich brothers on his strength and conditioning. So I don't know if he's gone back to how he was before those guys, but it seems like he has, because he didn't seem to have the cardio, he didn't have to get up and go, because Frankie Edgar was just controlling him basically. He's got a good chin as well, BJ Penn. Got good takedown defense, although he didn't really execute it against Frankie Edgar as much. But Frankie Edgar's a champ, very good fighter. In his last fight, he lost to Frankie Edgar. In his last 5 fights, he's had 2 wins and 3 losses. BJ is one of my favourite fighters. Always will be. You know what I mean? But he's a very good fighter. He's fighting a former 5-time welterweight champion in Matt Hughes again. It's his second time he's fighting him. No, third. Sorry, this is the third time. What am I talking about? Yeah, the third time. It's one apiece. That's 2. It's one apiece. Matt Hughes got a 45-7 record. He's 5'9". Matt Hughes, legend, will go in the Hall of Fame, as I think BJ may do later on, in the UFC Hall of Fame. Matt Hughes, great takedowns, former champion, got a great ground and pound. His hands are okay, he's improving, but the last 2 fights he's had, people have let him circle out and have time on, to plant his feet and pop his jabs out and whatever. His last fight, he beat Ricardo Almeida. I did not see him beating Almeida via choke. On certain sites it's listed as anaconda choke. It wasn't an anaconda choke, it was some old school wrestling choke that I've had done to me, and it flipping hurts. I didn't see him winning that fight like that anyway. But in his last 5 fights, he's had 3 wins and 2 losses. He's fought, how many times has he fought this year? He's fought twice this year. This is the 3rd time we're fighting. But yeah, Matt Hughes is a very good fighter. But this fight, I'm always going to pick BJ Penn. But I think if the pace, because what it's going to be is going to be Matt Hughes is going to be there, throw a jab out, jab cross, and he'll bounce out and do that, go back in and go back out. But if he tries to do that, I think BJ will counter and actually hit him on the counter all the time if he carries on doing that. But Matt Hughes might do something else, as he's seen with Frankie Edgar, that he can take BJ Penn down. He might use some of the game plan that Frankie Edgar imposed on BJ and try and use that against him. But we'll wait and see. But I'm going to pick BJ Penn to win that fight. I'm not sure how, but I'm going to say he might win it by decision, or if he catches Hughes on the counter, he might just batter him and just, I don't know. But I'm picking BJ Penn to win. Next fight on the card is between 2 All-American wrestlers, Aaron Simpson versus Mark Munoz. Aaron Simpson's got a 7-1 record. He's 6 foot. He's a world-class wrestler. He's a 2-time All-American wrestler. I haven't seen him fight, to be honest. I have seen him fight once, but I've not seen him fight regularly enough. Because this is the 2nd time he's only been on the numbered UFC event. So he's been on the Fight Night cards, but this is, I think it's the 2nd time or the 3rd time he'll be on this event. So, I haven't seen him that much. We do get the Fight Nights over here and the Ultimate Fighter finales, but sometimes I don't watch them because they're on a work night, on a school night. But yeah, his last fight was a loss against Chris Lieben by TKO, and his last 5 fights, he had 4 wins and 1 loss. This guy finishes all of his fights. I have seen, who does he fight? I can't remember who I've seen fight, but he does finish his fights. And he's fighting Mark Munoz. Aaron Simpson's the A-Train. Mark Munoz is the Filipino wrecking machine. Mark Munoz has got an 8-2 record. He's 6 foot. He's another world-class wrestler as well. He's got a sick ground and pound. If you watch the fight against Kendall Grove, oh my gosh, the blows he was nailing to Kendall Grove were just mad. He was coming down, he was raining down. You could hear them throughout the stadium. It was pow, pow. Yeah, but yeah, he's got a devastating ground and pound. He's got a lot of heart as well. He's got a very, very big heart. He fights through. There's a part in the Kendall Grove fight I thought he was going to get choked out, but he didn't. He carried on and smashed Kendall Grove. Very heavy hands. His last fight was a loss against Yushin Akami via decision. In his last 5 fights, he's had 3 wins and 2 losses. On this fight, it's very hard to call, but I'm going to go with Mark Munoz because I think he's going to do it via ground and pound. I think he's going to beat up Aaron Simpson via ground and pound. If not, I think he's got the better hands to beat Aaron Simpson. So I'm picking Mark Munoz to win that fight. Next on the card, we've got Gerald Harris versus Michael Jose Falco Goncalves. I'm not sure if I said that right, but Gerald Harris has got a 17-2 record. He's 5'11". This guy finishes his fights. To me, he's like a mini Rampage back in the day. He's picking people up, throwing them down. In his last fight, he slammed, who was it, Michael Branch, or I think it was David Branch or Michael Branch, sorry. He slammed him, KO'd him, but yeah, he's got a vicious ground and pound as well. In his last 5 fights, he's had basically 5 wins. He's a Ultimate Fighter veteran, and he's not been finished since about 2007, and he's on like a 10-fight win streak as well. Gerald Harris is steadily creeping up the middleweight ladder in the UFC. I think if he wins this fight, he'll be getting top 10, top 15 person next to fight, and he's fighting I think this is how you pronounce it, Michael Jose Falco Goncalves. This guy's from Shootbox. I don't know too much about him. He's on a 7-fight win streak at the minute. In his last 5 fights, he's had 5 wins. He fought 6 times in 2009, according to Sherdog. 6 times in a year, and he's only fought once this year. Previously, I've seen a few videos on YouTube of him. I've seen him training with Cyborg. Cyborg's gone down to welterweight. This guy's at middleweight. Yeah, but for this fight, I'm picking Gerald Harris via ground and pound. I think he's going to catch Goncalves' legs and take him up and put him on his ass and just keep him there for the entire fight. So I'm picking Gerald Harris to win that fight. Next fight on the card, this is going to be an exciting fight as well, is George Sotiropoulos versus Joe Lauzon. George Sotiropoulos has got a 13-2 record. He's 5'10", sick jiu-jitsu. He's got good boxing, and he's got really good reversals and transitions as well. If you watch his fight against, I think it was Jason Dent and George Roop, he reversed them, got on top. Very good jiu-jitsu in the cage. His last fight was a win against Kurt Pellegrino via decision. In his last 5 fights, he's had 5 wins. And he's fighting Joe Lauzon. He's got a 19-5 record. He's 5'9". Joe Lauzon is a quick starter. He's got good hands, good submissions. Had a bit of ring rust coming to his last fight, the fight before that, because he'd been off with injury. He won his last fight against Gabe Rudiger. That was in Boston. In his last 5 fights, he had 3 wins and 2 losses. For this fight, I think Sotiropoulos is going to win again, because I like this guy. I like the way he's coming up in the UFC lightweight division. But I'm picking Sotiropoulos to win that fight via decision. There you go. But anyway, those are my predictions, my opinions. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, comment below. I train at Leicester MMA, leicestermma.co.uk. Check out the other sites I've been looking at recently, which is mmapundit.co.uk, ironforgesiron.com, middleeasy.com, yourmma.tv, and mmahitpick.com. And you can follow me on Twitter with the same username, chokewho. But anyway, peace.